What's up YouTube, Silver Dragons here, and in this video I'm going to talk about 7 more things I wish I knew as a beginner silver stacker. Let's get into it. SD Bullion is giving away a monster box of 2024 Tree of Life silver coins. Sign up today at sdbullion.com/sweepstakes. Alright, so what do I mean when I say 7 more things I wish I knew as a beginner silver stacker? Well, about 4 years ago, I made a video, and in that video I titled it 7 Things I Wish I Knew as a Beginner Silver Stacker. Now, I'm not going to go over any of the things I went over in that previous video. So if you want to watch that, I think it's imperative that every new silver stacker learn these things. I'll just mention them briefly. I talk about what types of silver you should buy, where you should buy it, how much over spot you should be paying, when should you buy, where should you store it, how to tell if they're real or not, and also how to price junk silver. So definitely watch that video. I'll have a link down below in the description, as well as a link at the end of this video you can click on to watch it. Now, the new things I'm going to go over, I think, are extremely important. These are questions that I get asked all of the time. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Number 7 is silver or gold. Which should I be focusing on? Now, in previous videos, I've talked about the gold-silver ratio and how to play the ratio and all that stuff. I'm not going to get into that in this video. I want to put it very simply. If you are new to precious metals, you should start with silver. If you don't have a lot of money to put into precious metals, you should start with silver. Silver is cheaper. It's easier to get into. You can buy 1 ounce at a time for about 35 bucks right now. With gold, it's higher risk because gold costs quite a bit more. It's like $2,500 to buy an ounce of gold right now. So silver's lower risk. It's easier to start with. I recommend most people start with silver. Now, there is another way to look at this, though. Silver is more volatile than gold, so you need to factor in how much volatility you can stand. And one way to do this is to think about your age. Where are you at in your life cycle? Are you already retired? Are you nearing retirement? If so, maybe you don't want the volatility and gold is better than silver. But if you're younger, maybe still working, and you think you have a lot of years left to stack, then volatility is no big deal. It doesn't matter if there's a big swing up, a big swing down. You can stand the volatility. So you can go silver or you can go a combination of the two. I personally stack both silver and gold, but I did start out with silver. I had, I think, 400 ounces of silver, or maybe even more, before I even bought my first piece of gold. So I hope that helps. If you can stand the volatility, if you're just getting started, you don't have a lot of money to put into it, definitely go silver. If you're already retired, you don't want that crazy swings up and down, you want something that's just going to go up a little bit every single year, then probably gold is better for you. Okay, let's get to number 6, and that is, can I ruin my silver? And there's actually a couple of ways you can, so pay attention. One way that you could potentially ruin your silver is by touching it and getting a bunch of fingerprints on it. The oils from your fingers get on the silver, and then this can cause weird toning over time. Now, I want to be very clear when I say this. If you have touched your silver with your bare fingers, it's not the end of the world. I've done it before many times. In fact, the coin shop that I go to, they don't really care so much if your silver is milk spotted or toned or has fingerprints. So to them, it doesn't really matter. So for me, can I touch my silver with my bare fingers? Yeah, it's not the end of the world. But best practice is to just not do it, because I don't know where I'm going to end up selling my silver down the road. And whoever I sell it to might care that there are fingerprints on it and pay less for those pieces of silver, right? So best practice, wear gloves or just touch the edge of your silver so you're not getting fingerprints on it. Although I will say, when it comes to junk silver, you can touch it as much as you want because this stuff was already circulated. It's already been jingling around in people's pockets. They had it at the bank. It's been touched a million times already. So junk silver, unless it's a rare collectible coin, you can touch it. It's not a big deal. Now, the other way you can ruin your silver is if you store it improperly. So I'm assuming most of you are storing your silver at home in some type of a safe or something like that. If the safe gets too hot and too humid, this can actually lead to weird or really dark toning on your silver, which is not the most desirable. So here's an example of a bar that has been toned. This is a vintage silver bar, and the toning doesn't necessarily affect the value of this piece. But if you had, for example, a bunch of American Silver Eagles that you left in a very hot, humid safe, and they all turned black, this is not going to be desirable. They should be as close to the original condition they came in. So brilliant, uncirculated. They should look like shiny silver coins. That's what you want for your silver coins. So one way to mitigate that is to obviously have your safe be in a temperature controlled area. But if that's not possible, at least put some desiccants in your safe or in the containers that your silver is in. You know, when you buy shoes and you get those little weird beads in the shoe box that you can't eat because they're poisonous. Yeah, those are desiccants. They actually take the moisture out of the air. So put that in with your silver so you don't ruin it. All right, we're on a roll. Let's get to number 5. How can I avoid fake silver? Now, in my other video, I talked about how to test your silver to make sure it's real. But if you just don't buy any fakes in the first place, you're going to be better off. First and foremost, if you're new to silver, do not buy from eBay or Etsy or Instagram or any of these other social media platforms or selling platforms where there are private sellers involved, because there is fake silver out there and you can get scammed. So the best place to buy from is either from a reputable online bullion dealer. I like to use SD Bullion. Or you could buy from a reputable local coin shop. Another place to avoid is the pawn shops. Sometimes they don't know how to test the silver. They don't know what it is, and they will have fake silver in there. So buy from a coin shop or a reputable online dealer. That's how you avoid the fakes. Which leads into number 4. What is the best way to sell my silver? Now, I know when you're starting out, you're not thinking about selling, but sometimes there are emergencies, you need the cash, and you simply have to sell. Well, if you're selling just a little bit of silver, you don't want to sell it online. You can sell it to some of these online bullion dealers, but they prefer to buy larger quantities of silver. You're also going to have to ship it, and there's insurance and all that stuff. So a better place to sell your silver is at a local coin shop. Now, hopefully you've been going to one, building a relationship with them, and you're going to be able to walk in there. They call you by name. Hey, what's up, Bill or George or whatever? And you say, yeah, I got to sell my silver, and they'll give you a fair price for it. That's where you want to sell your silver. Ideally, the same place you buy it from. Right? You buy it there, and then when you need to sell it, you go back and you sell it to them. Building that relationship with the coin shop owner is very important, and it will help you go far in your stacking journey, which now brings me to number 3, and that is, how do I get good deals on silver? Now, again, if you have that relationship with the local coin shop owner, they're going to be able to set stuff aside for you. Oh, I know what Bill or George likes to buy, and they'll put it aside for you and hopefully give you a good deal on it. So getting to know that coin shop owner is crucial. But the other way to get good deals is to buy online and to buy things that are on sale. Now, when I buy from an online bullion dealer, I only ever buy things that are on sale. Let me repeat that. I only ever buy things that are on sale. I don't like to pay regular retail prices. So when I go to an online bullion dealer's website, the first thing I do is go to their sales or deals page. I look there, and if there's nothing I want to buy, then I just wait, because these deals will rotate over time, and eventually there will be something I want to buy, and then I can purchase it when it's on sale. So that's what I like to do. That's my strategy. That's how I get good deals. If you're wanting to go buy from private sellers, looking on Instagram or Facebook, you run into the fakes. So when you're starting out, I recommend buying, again, from a local coin shop or from a trusted online bullion dealer. Okay, number 2 is, what types of silver should I avoid? Now, there are some types of silver that are obviously better than other types. The good types are the 1-ounce coins and bars, also junk silver. This is all great. The stuff you want to avoid is stuff that is not labeled as silver. For example, silver shot has no label on it. It's just those little BBs. There's nothing saying it's silver. You want to avoid that. Also, jewelry, sterling silver, and stuff that is less than 90% pure. You want to avoid that stuff as well, because when you go to sell it, you're going to get way back of spot on some of this stuff, and it's just not going to be worth your time to stack it. And on the flip side, the other thing you should avoid is the high premium silver. You don't need to be stacking this when you first start off. This is the fun stuff, the collectible stuff. I've talked about this in other videos, but the high premium stuff is just to keep you interested, just to be fun, just to collect, but not to stack. You should really be focused on growing that stack, getting a really nice base of silver coins and silver bars, generic silver, that type of stuff. Don't focus on the high premium collectibles, because you're just not going to have as much silver in your stack. And the most important thing when you get started is building that big base. All right, let's get to number one. This is perhaps the most important, and it is, who should I tell about my silver? Who needs to know that I'm silver stacking? And the answer is as few people as possible. And the reason is because you don't want a target on your back. You don't want everyone out there knowing that you got a big silver stack at your house, because this attracts burglars. So this can be difficult when you first start. I remember I was so excited about stacking silver. I wanted everyone to know, look, I'm protecting myself and you should do it too. But you really don't want to put that information out there. So really, does anyone need to know that you're stacking? Maybe one person. Maybe your spouse should know, right? Obviously, you shouldn't be keeping things from your spouse. And if anything happens to you, if you die unexpectedly or something like that, they should know where it is. They should know how to access it. Also, maybe your heirs, if you are getting further along in your years and you're going to be passing down your silver to your kids or something like that, someone should know. Maybe one person should know where it is, how to access it in case something happens. But other than that, no one else needs to know. You don't need to tell your friends. You don't need to tell your extended family members. No one else. I know this can be hard, but it is simply the best practice. Okay. Those were 7 more things that I wish I knew as a beginner silver stacker. I hope they were super helpful to you. Don't forget to watch the first video that I made. A lot of good information in that one. And if there's anything I missed, anything I didn't cover, feel free to put it down below in the comment section and I'll try to get to it, or maybe another community member can help you by answering that question. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Silver Dragons out.